Hi, today I'll be making pineapple fluff. This is a really easy dessert to make and really delicious, something everyone will love. If you love pineapple, the delicious tropical fruit, I'm sure this is the dessert for you. You can see I have cut the pineapple like this. When you cut it across like this, you can cut all the eyes off. Make sure you cut it into small cubes like this. Next, we'll be adding the sugar to stew the pineapple. If you get a nice sweet pineapple, you can go slow on the sugar. And if it's a sour pineapple, make sure to add a little bit of extra sugar to make it sweet. While the pineapple is still stewing, on slow fire, I'm getting ready with the custard. Adding 1 tin of Milkmaid and use the same tin to measure the water. So 1 tin of Milkmaid with 2 tins of water. I have put the water and mixed the water nicely so that I'm taking every bit of Milkmaid from the tin. Make sure to make it on a heavy bottom pan and on very low fire. Now adding a little bit of vanilla to my custard. I have 1 cup of warm water that I'm going to mix the gelatin in. Mix the gelatin properly, make sure there are no lumps. The easy way to do it is first put the warm water and then mix in the gelatin little by little. The gelatin will make the dessert set. Also, it makes the custard thicker. Next, I have separated my eggs. To the custard, now I'm adding a little bit of coloring. This is really optional. You can leave it white and that is really pretty as well because the pineapple is yellow. But my mother always used to put pink. I wonder why. As a habit, I always use pink coloring for this dessert. I guess the pink and yellow make it very tropical. Adding the 4 egg yolks that are already beaten and keep on whisking it really fast so that it doesn't curdle. This custard is going to be thicker once you have added the eggs. Also note, while all this is happening, the fire is still on very low flame and it is still boiling. So the custard is still on the fire. You can see the custard has got thicker. Now it's time to take it off the fire. Next it's time to add the egg whites. I have all 4 egg whites that have beaten in a separate bowl. I'm adding that and I'm going to whisk everything together. Use a whisk like this, it's very easy for this dessert. While the custard is still warm, I'm adding the cashew nuts. Mixing it all together. The pineapple is still stewing. When the pineapple is cooked thoroughly and the water has reduced, you know it's properly stewed. A little bit of liquid because that's what gives a pineapple flavor to the custard. Getting ready to put the custard into the dish. Make sure to use beautiful dishes because you are serving the dish as it is. And you can even use one big dish or even little miniature dessert dishes like this so that it will look really pretty to serve. I always keep a little bit of pineapple back so that when the custard is set, I can decorate the top. So make sure to reserve a little bit for later. Spread the pineapple at the bottom evenly as possible. And the liquid in the pineapple, you can add that at this moment as well because when we pour the custard, it will all get mixed up and this liquid will give a lovely pineapple flavor to your dessert. You can see the custard is lovely, thick, delicious custard. The custard as it is a delicious dessert by itself. Just pour the custard on top of the pineapple and we are going to leave it out to cool completely before we put it into the refrigerator to set. It takes a good 6 hours to set. So you can make this dessert early as possible. So even 1 or 2 days before the party is fine. It stays fresh because the pineapple is stewed. Now my dessert has completely set and this is how it's going to look. Now it's time to decorate it as you wish. I have the pineapple that I reserved and now I'm going to decorate the top with more pineapple. You could even add more cashew nuts at this moment and decorate it as pretty as you like. Like I said, this pink and yellow gives a very tropical look to this dessert. And this is the way I remember this dessert because my mother used to bake this very often. Since we didn't add any sugar to the custard, it's not a very sweet custard, so the sweetness of the pineapple is the only sweetness to this dessert. So if you want more sweetness and more crunch, you can add more pineapple as you wish. The miniature dessert look really pretty and it's easy to eat, but I'm sure one dessert cup will be enough because this is a dessert so light you can have a big portion. I have a few cherries, so I'm cutting the cherries into half and decorating the top. It looks really pretty. As they always say, food should look pretty before you eat. And next thing is, it should taste really nice from the first bite. And this dessert will definitely hit both marks. So I'm sure you're going to try this dessert and let me know whether it worked for you and how your family enjoyed it. This is my mother's pineapple fluff recipe and I enjoy it today just like I did in my childhood. Over the years, I have mastered this dessert and I have been making this for my friends and family and everyone loves it just as much as I do. I'm sure you're going to try it soon. Until I meet you next, bye for now and happy cooking!